Man, let's assume nothing of the sort for now, okay? The smoke is this way. By all the moons and waters. It is a ship. I mean, probably was. It was a ship, yeah. Not much left of it. It looks like it's been burnt to a crisp. Yeah. Blackened. Presumably the ship was still burning as it fell. Remember didn't knock her down, he landed his boat. Tried to, at least. Or else he was unable to return. There are traces of an explosive propellant, Mistress. I suspect Master Renba attempted to detonate himself off the surface of the moon. Oh, who would have done that? The fire here must have burnt up a lot of air. The remaining atmosphere is thin, Mistress. Still, I believe the fire was extinguished before it consumed the whole ship. This was the hull. It must have been an explosion, Mistress. Enough to be seen on Mierzi. And Janiki himself? Mistress, there is no hope. Janiki must have been sailing when it fell. He cannot possibly have survived. So, what do we do now? Return to Iox and inform Professor Mayari, Mistress. I suppose. I always assumed he would find Renba. I don't know. That he was expecting us somewhere. Perhaps you can take the matter up with Renba in his next life, Mistress. Oh, very funny. Is there a way down? There might be more clues down there. I do not believe it would be wise, Mistress. Indeed, I believe it would be quite the opposite. So, we can't get down. There was something here. Oh, there still is. There's something under the wood. Something wedged under here seems to have survived the fire. Please don't be an arm. Well, it's not an arm, fortunately. A silver sextant. Oh, I guess it dates from the early Empire? It must have been aboard Janiki's ship. Another of his finds. Is this what he took from the stand on the roof up there? No. It's not from this moon. An heirloom, maybe. It has that look to it. Something that was old even when it was used. On the casing, there's an inscription. This is broken off. Okay, we do have God. We have up. I can add my translation for up to my notebook. Okay. This is place. This is a place because it starts with this sign. So place and then a noun with light. This has to be sky. Sky god, verb. This would be find. Reaches up. Sky god reaches up. Let's go with that. The sky god reaches upward. A device for watching the winds and flows of the rivers. Invaluable, especially if you didn't have a robot. Most likely this comes from the same place as the fragment of the canvas and the devotional icon that we discovered on the side of Renba's cache. Must have been common to travel between the two locations. Interesting. It must have burned for days. But light ships don't usually explode. Janiki must have used an inadvisable propellant to travel. You say so. Let's check out the channel. This channel comes up from the rock. The wellspring must be down there somewhere. The spring is dead now, mistress, and you are breathing the last air this moon has to offer. Janiki is not here, mistress. Neither is anyone else. Are you ready to go now, mistress? Yeah, I think so. Let's get out of here. Just stand by, mistress. So, okay, another moon visited and explored. Now where do we go? Oh. What's happening now? This isn't my ship.
Darkness.
This is not the Nightingale. 6? I hate robots. I hate them. They always do this kind of thing. Right before they give the speech about how it was for your own good.
Mistress, you were about to step on a small ant. My ethical code required that I lock you inside this packing crate.
It's cold in here. Uh-oh. Oh, something's wrong with 6. There you are. I think the hopper misfired. This isn't the Nightingale. Mayari. Professor, is that you? There is no one here. You are quite alone. You might confess here, like, quite safely. I'm not Mayari. Mayari did not come? She would not face me. I thought so. She lies. She is not who she says she is. So, who is she? She is just what she appears to be, and nothing more. As she sent me to find Janiki Renba. There isn't time. I found something. Something that matters more than her lies. Tell Lexi there is a great darkness, an all-consuming, hungry darkness, and it is coming. Darkness? What darkness? There is an ancient place, an observatory. It is watching, and it holds the wires of our fate in its claws. What? What is this all about? An observatory? I will find it before the vault is lost. The robots know, but they don't remember. Someone long ago made certain they would not remember. Reba, how do I help you? And he's gone. You have my apologies, mistress. I do not understand the question. The 6? Yes, mistress. I observe we are not back on the Nightingale. There must be something wrong with the hopper. I will look into it. This way, mistress. Right, okay. Let's just check out this cave first. I don't think there's anything to see here. Just light this way. Well, he probably knows, seeing as he's already there. You don't remember how we ended up in here? Hoppers can misfire due to imperfections, mistress. The eye aboard your ship is quite old. I see where we are now. Although I still don't see how we got in there. 6. Do you know anything about an observatory? No, mistress. Nothing comes to mind. Why do you ask? You don't remember. Remember what, mistress? You know what? Nothing. We've seen enough of this moon. Time to leave. Excellent, mistress. You have acquired one more interesting artifact here, the sextant. We have also learned of one more new location, an unknown moon. Be ready, mistress. And so we left the surface of the ruined hermitage near Mersey, with enough new information to locate an undiscovered site. Well, that's cool. I wonder where we can go now, but I think it's probably time to consolidate our knowledge and report to the professor there, back on the University on Iox. Aboard the Nightingale, we should sail to Iox and tell Mayari what we've seen, and I'm sure she wants to see the crown. Well, I'm sure of that too. I don't know, though, if we should present it to her. Let's head back to civilization. I hope you do not mean Elbereth, mistress. Oh, we can review all our stuff here. Is that right? She looks at home here. Presumably she was fashioned on Mersey. Clay being a material derived from waterlogged mud. Brought out here by a hermit from Mersey. Back in a time when the Mersians were willing to sail, and into the cyclones no less. The necklace. Marker outside the hermitage on the moon near Mersey. I still don't know what it's made of. I think that shells, seashells, aren't something too abundant in this world. Renba's crystal, it's beautiful enough. But that doesn't explain what Renba was doing with it. Now, the robe. The robe Janiki hid, I wonder if we'll ever know what was so special about it. The fabric appears to be of significant age. Is it the kind of robe that would need a brooch to hold it? Indeed it is, mistress. I would go so far as to say I can detect the pinholes, mistress. Oh, really? So it's all the part of a set. Now, the Nebula. Look out there. It seems to go on forever. Mistress. Look out there, 6. Evidently, it is indeed beautiful, mistress. Not too talkative about that, okay. Yeah, I'm going to rest, 6. Very good, mistress. I believe I can handle the ship. To Elbereth, perhaps? Ooh. So we don't really have to navigate anymore. No, you know what? Let's go back to Iox for now. Yes, mistress. The University of Iox. We should tell the professor what happened to Renba. And also speak with Wang.
After the empty house in the cyclones, Iox felt positively busy.
Have you sailed before, 6? I don't know, mistress. When I connect to the winches aboard the ship, they do seem to fit. I wonder if I once enjoyed sailing. Perhaps you crashed the ship into that hole you were found on in Iox. Buried yourself at high speed. I was buried the right way up, mistress. I think someone ordered me to stand still while they poured the cement around me. Well, that would be creepy. Did someone order you like that? Wouldn't try to preserve yourself? I think perhaps a primary user could. I do not know. So you mean Mayari did it? Buried you alive? Her predecessor, unless you believe in the loop. No, I don't think I do. Can we see anything else here? Aliya, tell me, are you still wasting your time on your curious notions of history? What's so curious? Well, now, your ideas are hardly wholesome. All that death and decay, you should devote yourself to real science, metallics maybe, loop philosophy. There's a 2,000-year-old statue in Jersey. Did you know that? You can see the chisel marks from where it was carved. What a strange thing to say. Good faith to you, Aliya. May the waters light your way. So, what, is that it? You didn't really believe me there was a statue there? I really hate her. Understandable, mistress. Yeah, totally understandable. Do we go to the professor first, or maybe try to do some exploration? Let's do some exploration first. What was this crown doing out here? Out there, a crown? Hey, aren't we supposed to keep the crown secret? Is the Emperor's crown? The crown is mentioned in Empire text, but it's never been found. Is this it? Right. Okay. That was, not really good at keeping secrets, are you, Aliya? Let's go to the library.
The library is a quiet spot to think. Except when Huang's in there, which of course, he always is.
Aliya, you're back. And you find Renba? Well, it's, complicated. And sounding like maybe you didn't. Did he go native of on some wild moon? I've heard there are places out there where people get up to all sorts of things. Sounds like you've been reading too much again. There are books in here that claim all sorts of things. A planet of ghosts, a moon ruled by a buried god, a jungle of trees made of teeth. Most planets are just people trying to get by. Most, though, you said most, is bad news, isn't it? About Renba. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I didn't know him, but professors are supposed to die in soft chairs watching the fountain. Shorma text. I discovered something you might be interested in. Let's see now. There's a fragment of an inscription. I read it as Pilgrim and Stranger. You know, you're correct about Stranger. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That was a bit of a risk there. But we're actually correct. So the other inscription too, I fear Stranger, was at least partially correct too. Thanks, Wang. Do you know anything about an ancient observatory? Mistress, I was not aware of this. An observatory? That's interesting. I mentioned Renaki. Did you ever go there? Is there an observatory up there? Out there? Not quite. I was on Renaki recently. I know, me on a boat. You should have seen me. I turned green. What did you do that for? I've got my secrets, Aliya. The curators let me take a few things and trade. Anyway, on the boat there was a trader called Amadu. He was talking pretty expansively, if you understand me, about something he'd found. He called it, well, you asked me about an observatory? That's what Amadu said he found. Oh, well, I followed worse leads before. So, who was this Maswa you're always reading about? She was a sailor from, maybe 20 loops ago. She was a traveling monk mistress. How old are these books of yours? Some are really old. But not, you know, not ancient. They date back to the first Empress or so. But why aren't there any older books? Good question. I don't know. They just aren't. I know you found older. Aliya, about Renba. Did you tell my Ari already? Why? Oh, no reason, just interested in how she'd take it, that's all. Since you went off looking for him, I began to wonder if they were closer than I'd realized. I don't always notice these things, you know. I haven't told her yet. Do we really want to talk to this guy? Let's continue. Another thing. Oh, about Renba. Do you know what he was doing out there in the Nebula? I didn't know him. That's not what I asked. Aliya, are you alright? You seem shaken up. I'm just tired. Done a lot of traveling. You mustn't exhaust yourself, your blood. That Elbereth disease of yours. I'd hate for you to end up bedridden. What? What disease? It's not a disease. It's a condition. Of course. Thanks, Wang. Thanks, Wang. That's what I said. Yeah, okay. Maybe take a look around the library. Books and old topics. Okay. I don't know how you find the time to read all of these, Wang. Oh well, I make the time, I suppose. There's like 20 books in here. It's not that bad. I've read more. Duh, obviously. Okay, let's leave the room. See you soon, Wang. See you soon. You know what? Should we leave now, mistress? No, we have to talk to my Ari. She will already be aware of our presence, I am sure. Why do you want to leave all of a sudden? What are the Chronicles of Mazwai that Wang's always reading about? I believe Mazwai was a pilgrim sailor. She writes about the various places of the Nebula, and about the Great Loop has acted at these places. Okay. Mazwai believes in Loop, then. Mazwai is an original source for the hypothesis, mistress, as much as anything is a source in a Loop, mistress. Master Huang says the book became common shortly after the establishment of the Holy Empire. Things are getting clearer now, but we still have close to no idea what's happening over here. Let's get into my Ari's office. Let's see what the old wolf wants. Aliya, you're back. But I don't know if I want to ask you what you found. Maybe you don't, Professor. It's not good news. I'm not a child. Tell me what you saw. He's dead, Professor. His ship blew up as he tried to leave an off-river moon. Interesting. You're certain? We are quite certain, Professor. Professor, have you ever heard anything about an ancient observatory? That's a curious question. I found some kind of telescope fitting on the moon where Renba... Well, I wondered what it might mean. I've never heard of an observatory, but maybe Renba found something. So is that it? That is the whole conversation we were supposed to have here? Curiously short and not really informative, if you ask me. Do we have anything to look through here, maybe? I don't think so. Let's leave the office in that case. One last thing, Aliya. Tell me honestly, how are you finding your new companion? Are you working well together? I'll lose this one too, Professor. You know I will. Be sure you don't, Aliya. Robots are valuable things. I want to know immediately if anything happens to this one. I hope that's clear. Yeah, clear. I'm glad to hear it. So we didn't show her the...
I didn't exactly lie to my Ari about what I'd found. But I didn't tell her the whole truth either.
Yes, well, come to think about it, maybe we should have said something. But you know what? No. We are off to find the observatory by ourselves. This is going to be our discovery. Shall we leave now, mistress? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Do it. This way, mistress. And so, we left the university. I know I kind of imagined that we'd have something more to do here. We had a very informative talk with Huang, though, so not all is lost, I think. So, where do we go from here? Abort the Nightingale. Without any additional info. Okay. So I guess we're free to do anything we want now. At least for a while. We can now visit Renaki in the Renaki Reach. Yeah, okay. We could go to Renaki next. There's the trader who knows things about an observatory. Other than that, we can first go to to find the site from the mural. And I think that is a bit more interesting. Remba's trail had led us to a painted map and a stone shrine taken from somewhere. I could explore this region. Or no. But I think that's probably a good idea. The actual crown of the empire, though it isn't here because we have hidden it. That is worrying, to be honest. We have hidden the crown in our stash, but at the same time, for all other intents and purposes, it's visible to the NPCs and just not to us. Yeah, it's pretty weird.